I'm Becca and today I'm going to be predicting my next 5-star reads. I picked out 5 books that I think I'm going to rate 5 stars when I actually read them, and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on why I think that they are going to be 5-star reads. The first book that I think I'm going to rate 5 stars when I read it is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. In this adult high fantasy novel, there are 4 different Londons, and our main character Cal can jump between these different parallel Londons. I've heard so many different people talk about how amazing this book is. Even though fantasy is not something that I typically read, when I do end up reading this one, it's going to be a 5-star. The next book I have is Radio Silence by Alice Osman. This is a young adult book following a lad who is a quiet boy at his school, but he's secretly the creator of a very popular podcast under the username Radio Silence, and he befriends this girl who is actually a really big follower of the podcast. The reason that I think I'm going to give this book 5 stars is not only because I've heard so many amazing things about this book, but also it reminds me a lot of Eliza and Her Monsters. I absolutely loved Eliza and Her Monsters when I read it, so I think that this one will be no different, and I cannot wait to pick it up. The next book that I think I will give 5 stars to is Little and Lion by Brandy Colbert. This is a young adult contemporary. There's a lot of mental illness rep, there's LGBT rep, and there is deaf and hard of hearing representation as well. All of those rolled into one is definitely a book that is going to be right up my alley. I kind of cheated with this one. I've already started reading Little and Lion. I've loved it so much so far, so I definitely feel like by the time I'm done with it, it's going to be 5 stars. The next book that is probably going to be a 5-star read for me is The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan. This is about a girl whose mother dies, and she is convinced that her mother turned into a bird when she died. I feel like this is going to be a 5-star read for me because the writing is probably going to be very beautiful and descriptive, which I'm a sucker for. I've also heard a lot of great things about this book as well, so I hope that it doesn't disappoint. I don't think that it will. And the last book that I think is probably going to be a 5-star read for me is The Hazel Wood by Melissa Albert. We follow a teenage girl whose grandmother is the author of really dark fairy tales. When her grandmother dies alone on her estate, the Hazelwood, our main character has to travel to the estate and kind of put together clues to find her mother. So there are so many different factors to this book. Not only is the cover beautiful, which is the reason that I'm picking it up, let's be honest, but I love fairy tales and retelling, and it seems like it's going to be very dark, which is something that draws me into books as well. So like The Astonishing Color of After, this one is a little outside of my comfort zone, but because of the elements of the story, I feel like this is going to be a 5-star read for me. So there you go. Those are 5 books that I believe are going to be 5-star reads when I get to them. I will be making a follow-up video once I finally read all 5 of these books, so let me know if you have read any of these books down below in the comments and what you thought of them. And also tell me a book that is on your future TBR that you predict is going to be a 5-star read for you, because I would love to know. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.